This is Jordan with Boss Battle Life, and welcome to the newest version of our video series, which was best described by somebody in the Boss Battle Life community as geeky and nerdy TED Talks. And we're going to go ahead and get into it, and we're going to start in June of 1986 when the Japanese system known as Famicom was released in the United States and North America as the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES. Well, the story doesn't actually start in June of 1986 because I was only 3 years old at the time, but shortly thereafter, the system was still prohibitively expensive to buy. So my dad, on the weekends that he had us, he would rent the system from video stores. You were able to do that, and a couple of games. But with the system came the 2-pack cartridge of Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers. Now, my brother and I spent a lot of time playing Super Mario Brothers and a lot of time playing Duck Hunt as well, and I still have an unreasonable hatred for that dog. But over the weekends when my dad had us, we got to be very good at the game. At that time, we hadn't beaten it yet, but we got to be very good. And then a little later on down the road, my dad was able to buy one. And then further on down the road, my mom was able to buy one. So we didn't just have access to the game and the system on the weekends anymore. We had it during the week as well. And still a go-to, no matter how many other games we had, and there were plenty of great games. No matter how many other games that we had, we tended to go to Super Mario Brothers an awful lot. So my brother and I, being kind, small children, and that's not actually 100% true, but we decided that we were going to go ahead and give my mom a shot, let her have the controller. So we hand this to my mom, and we were, we had gotten pretty good at that point. We hadn't beaten the game yet, but we were pretty good. And so we hand my mom the controller, explain the controls to her, and the music starts up, boop, 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 and she's running across the screen and smacks right into that first Goomba. So now she's got 2 more lives left. She has seen this Goomba. She is ready for this Goomba. Music starts up. Boop, 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 boop. Do, 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 do. Dead by that same Goomba again. Several attempts later, my mom still had not gotten past that first Goomba. And my brother and I, being the kind-hearted children that we were, laughed at her. We thought this was the funniest thing ever. She was getting so frustrated that she could not get past that first Goomba. When my brother and I, we had gotten very, very far, and my brother learned how to trap the turtle and get the unlimited lives, and I still had not. But that was wrong to have been laughing at her, because there are 2 reasons, and this has come to my mind several over my adult years. Number 1, my brother and I had been facing this game for quite some time. We were getting progressively better. Now, there were times when we would, have a rogue bloober come and attack us, or we would mistime a jump and get caught by those fireball chains that were whipping around in the castles. And there were times when we took small steps back. But overall, since we had been spending so much time with this game, we were getting progressively better. And my mom, who had not been spending time with this game, wasn't. This was her first few attempts, and she smacked into that Goomba, and it's like, oh man, I can't believe you didn't make it to the end of the first world even. But because we had been doing it for so long, it was easy to us. And the second reason why is because everything that was put in that game, as it is with any game where it's player versus environment, every single thing was designed to take out the player, including that first Goomba. So this is the video that I am posting on January 1st. This is the New Year's video. And the reason why I've decided to go this route is because as we are facing our New Year's resolutions, we are going to run into obstacles that we have never seen before. We are going to run into obstacles that we were not prepared for. And my mom, learning the controls, she wasn't really prepared for that. She didn't know you can run and jump at the same time. And as we are going into things, there are things that people are doing that are facing that have faced these challenges before, and make it look easy. And let's say a good example is learning to draw. And if you compare to if you're starting to learn and you're comparing your work to people that have been doing it for 30, 40 years, your work is not going to be as good. That's just a fact. And you might be struggling. Let's say your first real hurdle is perspective, and you are going to struggle and struggle and struggle with perspective, but that is not a reason to give up. You are struggling because you have never faced this obstacle before, and every obstacle matters. The first obstacle matters. Whether you get taken out in World 1-1 by that first Goomba, or you get taken out in World 8-4 by King Koopa himself, you are still getting taken out. And so every obstacle matters, even the first one. So there are going to be times when you fail. There are going to be times when you fail because you don't know what to do. There are going to be times when you fail because you just don't have the experience. And that's okay. You've got other lives. And honestly, had my brother and I taken this the correct way rather than laughing at her, and I am ashamed to say that I would joke with her about it well into my adulthood, had we taken the correct approach, we would have been giving her that advice. We would have, okay, Mom, hold the button down and then use the side of your thumb to press the other button at the same time. And we would have been giving her advice on how to get past those obstacles because we had the experience, but we didn't. So as you're facing these challenges in the new year, it's okay. It's okay to be taken out. It's okay because you don't know what you're doing. It's okay because you don't have the experience. Anything can take you out, but don't stop. And this was sometime down the line, but my mom was playing again, and she had been killed by that Goomba, I dare say probably 100 times, but she was playing again, and something clicked, and she was able to jump over it. She didn't squash it. She was able to jump over it, and she was able to get past that. And I would honestly say that she was probably happier getting past that first Goomba than my brother and I when we actually beat the game, because this was a brick wall to her. She could not advance past this. And yet her perseverance paid off, and she was able to get past it. And my brother and I, we were getting better, like I said. And so it was just a natural progression. For her, she didn't have that natural progression. She had a wall and kept running into it and kept running into it until the one day when she didn't, because she stuck with it. Now, unfortunately, I think she died about 10 seconds later when she met her first piranha plant. But she stayed with it and she got past it. And I've been out on my own for quite some time, so maybe she has been playing that game for quite some time, and she might actually even be better than me at this point. If she's been playing for several years without me knowing it, she might be better than me. She might be doing speed runs, but the thing that matters is she got past that first Goomba. And so keep trying. That is the message of today. Keep trying. Don't be ashamed if some little thing takes you out, because it's designed to. And just stick with it. And that is what today's Boss Battle Life video is about. Perseverance. Stay with it and have the same commitment that my mom had with that first Goomba. So that is most of the video today. If you would like to contribute a video in this vein, like I said, a geeky or nerdy style TED Talk, please email that to bossbattlelife@gmail.com. If you enjoy these kinds of things, and I've got 2 more planned for right now that I will be posting, but I'm coming up with new ideas all the time, and plus any user contributed stuff. But if you enjoy this kind of video, like and subscribe. And I always like to close out these videos with a positive message. So this time it's a 2-parter. This is Jordan with Boss Battle Life, and face your Goombas. And when you get there, face your bosses.